All right, welcome everyone. If you are listening to this episode, the contingency episode, it means I failed to secure a guest. That's okay, because sometimes you can't. Sometimes, stuff happens and last minute stuff, and that's okay. I don't blame it on anyone. I think this is a great, fuck that's hot, opportunity to try something different. So in the event I can't get guests, maybe I will do episodes like this where I just talk and rant, depending on, if y'all enjoy them and if I like them. So with that said, well, I don't know if you count Doge as a guest. Thank you, Karen. I like Shivas. If you didn't know, big fan. I've only met 3 in real life, 4 maybe, and they really didn't like me. I was kind of bummed out. Then I realized, I think someone told me that Shibas are not, they're more like cats than anything is what I heard. They're not as friendly and outgoing as other breeds, but that's okay. I see them in memes all the time. I post them. Alright, welcome. So, this is my room. I cleaned this part of the room because it's on camera. My room's somewhat messy. It used to be messier. Now, not so much. But before we get into all the rants, let's get into some serious stuff. Let's see what's on the agenda. Okay. My condolences to anyone or families, friends who may have been involved in the Thousand Oaks shooting, in the Borderline Bar and Grill, I believe. Thinking about it now, I think I might have been there 5-6 years ago. It's very unfortunate. These events keep happening. My condolences and prayers. I think it's a big reason, or it's one of the reasons why I like to stay home. You never know. I just feel this feeling of unsafeness or something. I don't know. But I don't really drink that much anyways or go out as much. But yeah, I just kind of stay home a lot these days. So again, my condolences and prayers, sending out good, positive vibes to all those that were affected. It's a very tough time. Also, too, over the weekend are the fires going on in LA and also in parts of NorCal. I hear that it's gone down. It's been contained 30%. It's a tragedy. It happens every year. A fire breaks out around this time of the year when there are Santa Ana winds picking up. So again, my condolences and prayers to those that were affected, sending positive vibes and good thoughts to those who were affected, and yeah, it's just it's terrible, unfortunate these things happen. Here there's rain next week. Hopefully that there actually is rain and it's just not the weather app fucking with us. Let's see. So, rest in peace to all those that were passed away in those tragic events or that were affected. Once again, condolences, prayers, sending out good thoughts. What else? Okay. Also, too, Stan Lee passed away yesterday, I believe, at age 95. Also very tragic. He had a huge impact on many of us, for those into comics, movies of Marvel, and just comics in general. I grew up watching the X-Men cartoon show, the first old one, animated series, and big fan of comics, so to see him pass is, it's, 95, it's a pretty long life, and it's just unfortunate happened. He'll be very missed. left a legacy. Okay, so moving on to lighter things. Speaking of lighter things, if you didn't know, I'm partially colorblind. Most of y'all probably know. If you've worked with me, if we had an art class together, or if you just hang around me long enough and you ask me to, you know, get like a color Gatorade and I give you the wrong shade, or I point out something, oh, I like that purple sweater. Oh, no, that's navy. Oh, okay, sure. So, yeah, if y'all didn't know, if I look at the stoplights, the crosswalk, that green light, it looks white to me. Now I can see why it'd be green, but it looks more white to me than green. I found that I was colorblind, or partially colorblind, sorry, when I was younger. I remember in kindergarten or preschool, I was coloring, and this was in the Philippines, and I think I colored maybe the trunk of a tree green and the leaves brown. The teacher made it a point to show that everyone in the class, and everyone was laughing. I thought that was just, I was a kid, I didn't know my colors. And then I turned 7 and I went to an optometrist here, and the optometrist ran some tests to make sure if I needed glasses, if I had any challenges with my eyesight. And there was this test, right? And it was to arrange the colors from darkest to lightest. I was able to I was able to correctly input the colors on the ends of the spectrum, the lights, the darks. You have white on one side, black on one side, something like that. I don't know. But when it got to the middle, it became a bit more murky for me. I was having a tough time, and the doctor looked at the results and said, hey, he's partially colorblind. I don't recommend him being a fighter pilot, which didn't totally ruin my dreams. I didn't want to be a fighter pilot, although I like jets and all those kind of movies. What was that movie with Tom Cruise? Top Gun. There you go. Yeah, I like that movie a lot. Let's see. Yeah, so that's my little thing, and then it's kind of funny. I'm not wearing a romper, just wearing 2 clothing articles that are gray. Gray is my favorite color because there's different shades, and I don't know, I just say gray all the time and it works. Dark gray, light gray, heather gray, I love it. So yeah. And let's see what else. Okay, let's recap. This weekend was pretty fun for me. It was quite eventful. On Saturday, I performed at the CSUN's VSA, Vietnamese Student Association. I performed at their Northridge by Nights, which is a talent show. Proceeds of the money go to a charitable cause in Vietnam. I forget exactly which one, but I know that it helps out kids in Vietnam, so that's pretty awesome. My history with VSA, I used to be a member in 2017, in my last year of, sorry, this is weird, I'm just talking to the camera and the microphone. It feels like I'm vlogging again. I fucking hated vlogging. 2017, my last semester at CSUN, I joined. Someone told me, hey, there's a talent show, you may want to perform there. I said, sure. It's always good when you get a chance, if you're a musician or performer, to get out there and perform. And I got there and I realized, or I got in contact with Tin, who was the president at the time, and I showed him my music videos and my music, and he told me, hey, actually, it's really not a talent show, but show up anyways. It's for play kind of thing. So I remember that day, I think it was a Thursday, I got my I got my calf tattooed by Karina, my right calf. I have a really large Grim Reaper piece that takes up a good chunk of my calf. I didn't realize how much that would hurt. It fucking hurt like hell. I just did the outline. After the outline, I made my way to C-Sun, which is across the street from One Truth Tattoo, and I met with Tin and Obi, who was a vice president at the time, to meet up and talk about the role. And I was like blacking out, almost passing out, because I don't know. I just you come out of a tattoo that big, you feel all woozy and lightheaded, and you got to meet up with someone. So I still met up with them. I was like almost passing out in the stairs, and I spoke with them, and I said, hey, great music, but we're not looking for performers. We're looking for someone who would like to play a role in our play, VCN. And I took it. I very minimal lines. I got to perform, which is great. And over the time, even after that, I hung out with VSA. Went to the meetings, did some philanthropy work and whatnot. It was fun. It was great. I got to meet amazing people, amazing individuals, and I love them. They're great. So fast forward to now, I got invited back to perform, and it was great. So many talented individuals in that talent show, Northridge by Night. There were pianists, singers, rappers, dance groups. One guy was did some magic tricks on stage with cars, which was amazing. And I got to perform. I got to perform my latest and favorite song, Gucci Sushi, which is out on Spotify, iTunes, and all your streaming platforms of your choice. Deezer, Tidal, Google Play, all that. So yeah, I got to perform, and for the first time ever, I got such a warm reception from the song and me performing. Everyone loved the song. I got so many compliments afterwards. Gucci Sushi is awesome. It was catchy. It sounded clean. My mentor / boss, J57, he called it out. I recorded this song in March of earlier this year, and he goes, "Yo, this is gonna be a hit." I said, "All right, okay, if you say so." But I will say, when I wrote that song and I recorded, I had the most fun. Something about that song, something about that structure. I've been rapping for like 10 plus years, but only been putting out music recently. I've been so caught up, lyrical ability, which is great. There is a time and place for that, and it is definitely important. I just felt like I was competing most of the time, which is nothing wrong with it, but that's all I was doing. There was no substance or content. You couldn't tell anything about me in my music. We're just saying, punchlines and bars, which I am a fan of. I grew up in a mixtape era of, G-Unit, Lloyd Banks, that's G-Unit, Fabulous, The Locks, all those cats. So I'm first and foremost a fan of the punchlines, the metaphors, the delivery. Over time, I was like, it just wasn't the same for me. I didn't have as much fun recording. So I think that's why a lot of my writing struggled. So back to Gucci Sushi, it's just a great song. I love it. People love it. Check it out. Long story short, it started between a couple of people and I, and in that song I just intertwined some real life stuff that you wouldn't know because it's so coded, but I like it. So that was fun. I had a great reception to that song, and also afterwards my friend and I went out. We went out which we haven't done in a long time. We went to a after party, or just a party in general. I don't know if it was an after party. I think it was just a party. We met up with some people, and hey, there's a party going on, and I went and had a few beers, nothing too crazy, and we just had a blast. I think there's something like when you bring as a guy, if you bring a female friend to a party or a kickback, you're like a little less creepy, because a lot of women will be like, oh, okay, like he has female friends. He's not a creep. He's not here to, hook up and try to get with girls, So that was fun, and her and I haven't done that in a long time, going out to like a party or kickback, and we just had so much fun, from pre-gaming in the car, listening to old songs that we used to listen to 10 years ago, nostalgic vibes, and we just came to that party, just met some new people. It was great. So that was my weekend. And Sunday, woke up with a hangover, I say hungover, and that's fine. It was cool. I think I'm gonna start doing something called Sodium Sundays. I don't know. That day, on Sunday, I just had so much sodium in my diet. I had 2 of those like instant noodle bowls, but the second time I only had only had like, didn't add so much of the seasoning. And then that night when I got home from work, I bought corned beef, which sounds so fucking amazing right now. And yo, for all y'all shitting on canned meat, you don't know what's up. You don't know what's up. Like, this shit was a staple back at home in the Philippines. Like, people talk so much shit about Spam, which I understand it's high sodium, it's not healthy, but we grew up on this. In the Philippines, you didn't have readily available fresh meat on demand like you do at grocery stores here. So Spam and eggs and rice in the morning. It's amazing. With some banana ketchup. Yeah, that's a thing. Get your culture up. And also, rice and corned beef with onions and eggs sounds so amazing right now. I'm so tempted after this podcast, go to the Ralph's, buy some corned beef, and fucking make rice and just eat that shit. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I should give a fuck, right? Like, okay. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a little older. Oh, yeah, that's another segment I should go into. Like, when you get a little older, I feel like you have to watch what you eat. When I used to be in my younger 20s, I would just eat like shit, and I would consume a lot of alcohol and questionable substances that you probably shouldn't take. I'd be fine, I'll wake up the next day, not go to work at 9 a.m. Oh, I'm cool. What's up? Play some beer pong the night before, go to work at 9 a.m. What's up? Like, my hair's a little fucked up. I smell like beer, but I'm ready to work. Now, I have 6 beers, and I'm like, damn, dude, like, what the fuck, man? Let's get some pho or something. Like, hangover city. So, there's that. Turning 31 in, let's see, like 29 days. Yeah, December 12th is my birthday. So I just kind of been like not struggling so much now of my age, just because I tend to hang out with younger people, and I look young, and no one believes me I'm 31 or turning 30. And there's always this thing in the back of my head, if I hang around campus a lot, and people of my peers, as in we went to school together and stuff, hang out with them a lot, and I see a lot of attractive women on campus, and it's like, damn, I just feel kind of weird sometimes that, hey, like, she's cute, but she's like a few years younger than me, so there's always this battle in my head, like, that goes something like, oh, technically she's legal, she's of age, she's 18, but then there's that side of me that goes, well, that's kind of creepy, man, like, that's just creepy. Like, you know, she's, you know, a few years younger than you, like 8, 20, 21, and like you're like 30, and it just looks bad, you know. To me, it kind of does, because there's, you know, you always had that one friend, right, in high school, usually like a female friend, and she's, oh, I'm dating someone, and they're like years older, maybe like during college or something, and you're like, oh, that guy's a fucking pedophile, that guy's fucking weird. So I have that in the back of my head. My friends tell me, you know what, honestly, as long as the maturity level is there and there's consent and she knows your age and y'all are cool and, you know, it's y'all on the same page, it's fine, you know, that's fine. So I'm still getting over that. I do hear women like older guys, which is cool. Holla at me. I am single. No, I'm single though, but you know, yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, you know, that department, you know, trying to get my groove back, you know, trying to date around and, you know, talk to more women, you know, now that I have more self-confidence, I feel like the age thing and just where I was in life a couple years ago wasn't the best, you know. Now I just feel like I'm younger, a little more healthy, cut back on the partying a lot, and yeah, you know. So speaking of which, I found out, I downloaded the Hinge app, which is really cool to me, better than Bumble and Tinder in my opinion, because you don't do swipe left or swipe right, you do likes and dislikes, and you can comment on pictures of women or whatever your preference is, and you know, they can talk back to you, kind of thing. So I've been, you know, just checking it out, and you know, I think I like to write funny things in comments, not necessarily trolling, but there's some funny stuff, and I hope they don't think I'm trolling. Like, there's one picture of this attractive woman baking, right? There was this tray of donuts in front of her, and I was putting the comment, Alexa, play Trap Queen by Fetty Wap. I don't think she got that. I don't think she's that. I mean, I don't know, but I just have a very hip-hop sense of humor and inside jokes that someone who may not be of that or really know too much to be like, what the fuck? So doing that, you know, doing my thing, doing there, you know, trying to, you know, like, just talk to women, you know, it's fun, you know, as long as it's consensual, as long as they know what's up, as long as you're not being creepy and shit, I think it's cool. And so someone asked me a question like Saturday morning, a really cool question. I don't want to say their name because I don't know if they feel comfortable getting the name put out there. They asked, hey, serious question. Why is it hard for men to be emotionally vulnerable? Maybe not men, since females could have a hard time doing that. So people in general. Why do people have a hard time being emotionally vulnerable? That's a great question. I thought it was a cool question to ask. I have an answer, but I don't always follow it. You know, I think being emotionally vulnerable. I can't speak for all guys, but I can just say that growing up as a guy, we're taught to repress our emotions. We're taught like showing emotions is weak, it's whack, you lame. You know, like play cool. I think that's, you know, growing up you learn that and you suppress your emotions, and I think when you suppress your emotions to a certain degree, you learn how to be good at not communicating properly. Just saying, you know. While at this on the other side of it, which I totally agree with, it's good to protect your feelings. You know, I really think, I'm not gonna be emotionally vulnerable here, I'm the type to fall quick. I don't know, maybe it's just in my head. Someone said I'm a hopeless romantic. I don't like to think so, but times I'm like, yeah, I probably am. I just think it's cool, like, you know, it's good to protect your feelings depending on what you're getting involved with. You know, yeah, sometimes I fall too fast, you know, like way too quick. I think a lot of times it's our imagination. You know, there's a voice in our head, not, you know, not in a bad thing, but I think there's our consciousness, right? our consciousness, right? That's you being aware of what's going on and versus what your mind thinks or does or wants to do, right? Like, you know, there's that phrase, we are but our thoughts, or something like we are only our thoughts, right? Which to a degree I get, but not necessarily. You and I know we have some fucked up thoughts in our head that don't make us who we are just because we think them, correct? Now if we act them out, now if we have that mindset and apply it to life, that's different. But, you know, yeah. So once again, there's that consciousness, right? And I think like, you know, maybe if you're talking to someone and you get endorphins out of it, and maybe those endorphins lead to like imagine, it'd be so cool if we go out or something. And a lot of times we rush things in our head. It's not always good. So yeah, I think that's what it was. And you grow up. I grew up watching movies and TV shows where like you end up going out with the girl, and that's not always the case. Let's see. Yeah, so with that, I really think a lot of us are emotionally vulnerable because we're afraid to get hurt, and I don't blame them. That shit sucks. Like when you express how you feel about someone to that person and it's not reciprocated. But that also goes back to possibly expectations, right? We assume things. Just because we think we say something to someone else doesn't necessarily mean their emotions or feelings reflect what we put out there. So there is that chance of like getting rejected or, I want to be friends, but there's nothing wrong with being friends, I don't think. I have a lot of female friends, strictly platonic. Sorry, I need more tea. I'm like fucking half awake. I woke up at 4:30 this morning. Woke up at 4:30, super stoked because I'm working on a song with a D Catalano, label mate, homie. It's gonna be sick, right? And last night I was I was doing a couple cover arts for a friend, for like my boss's homie, and one of my stuff, and I got super stoked. I think I like making cover art. It's fun. So that was super fun, and I was just so stoked off that vibe. I woke up this morning, started writing music. It's 8:31 a.m. and I'm doing a fucking podcast. I'm hyped. But also I'm a morning person. I like to wake up early and start my day off right by just being productive. I feel like sleeping in is great, but sometimes when I do it too much, I just feel lazy and like, I don't want to do anything, and I get it. Sometimes you need those days, but I don't know. I just like waking up early and sleeping early. Also, Instagram. There's a new feature where it will track how many hours you go on Instagram. How many hours of Instagram how many hours are you on Instagram a day? I didn't really think of it, and then I looked at it, I'm like, holy shit, I'm on it a lot. I set myself to a timer where it's 1 hour. I still go past it, but it's just good to know, good to be aware. But on the other end of the spectrum, I like posting hella memes, and I like to talk to people through DMs. Text messaging, not so much. I do more Instagram DMs. I have my text notifications turned off. I've had it off for a year and some change, maybe, just because, I don't know how to get into it. Yeah, I don't want to get into it. I just don't like it. I like to respond to text when I want to, and that one is that fucking number, that noise. It shit bugs the fuck out of me. But DMs are great. Like, shit, send me memes all day. Well, I don't know, good meme, I guess. Yeah, I've like, what's trippy? I have a friend where we met in 2012. It's so funny. We didn't like each other. She thought I was just like this douchebag, and I thought she wasn't the best person. And it turns out we became like really good friends. She's so awesome. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, But like, she's super cool, and she moved back to her hometown after like 1 or 2 semesters. But in those 6 years, dude, we've sent each other like, we've sent or tagged each other in like a fuck ton of memes. I mean, on average, we'll send maybe like 5 to 6 memes each a day. A day, right? I'm bad at math. You do the math. 5 or 6 memes a day for 6 years. That's a lot of memes to tag and send. So I think it's like the first time that I where I developed and established and maintain a friend through memes strictly. Like, we don't really text. I see her once every few years when she comes down here for Six Flags. But shouts out to you. You're awesome. I have a tattoo representing you of a Sailor Venus. So, hint, hint, wink, wink, who that is. But yeah, why I like memes so much. Like, fuck, I love memes. I think because they make me laugh. Prior to memes, I didn't really laugh too much. But you have memes as a form of comic relief. I wake up in the morning. I love getting memes in the morning because it makes me laugh. Some say laughter is the best medicine. I think it really helps. It really helps waking up, seeing some funny stuff on your DMs. I get them in the morning and they're great. So thank you for those. Send memes to me, like good ones. If you don't send me memes, don't send me memes. It's okay. But if you send me memes and you know who you are, thank you so much. There's like a handful of people to do. I have a Shiba meme or posts where like I send this person like strictly mainly animal and Shiba related memes and posts. That's the wholesome aspect. I have one friend where we send like just funny memes in general, more of the on the wholesome aspect. And there's a couple of those, and then there's a fucking hentai gang group. Yo, I'm not gonna say what we send. It's some fuck shit. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, it's some really funny ass fuck shit. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, y'all gotta stop sending that shit. That fucking, you know what I'm talking about? It looks cool, but it's fucked up. You know, like, it fucks me up. Like, I don't want to talk about it. It's some funny shit, but like, we gotta stop sending that and stop fucking with each other like that. You know. So hentai gang, shouts out hentai gang. That's Angel and Frank. I hope to get you guys on the podcast soon. Angel and Frank are my dear friends. They're tattoo artists. Frank is in the NorCal. Angel's here. Angel, we gotta get you on the podcast. You too, Frank. Hentai gang, trying to get hentai tattoos for us three. Yeah, we met like a couple years ago. It was so awesome. I don't know how it started, but someone said hentai gang, and yo, fucking hentai gang, and we're just like, yeah, so hentai gang. So yeah, and then there's one with me and L and J. That's pretty funny. We don't go on it as much. We just sound like hip hop ass shit. It's funny. Yeah, so that's the meme part. Our little podcast, obviously, is just great. I have it on all the time, or interviews, like when I'm in the bathroom, when I'm on my way to work, when I'm here. You know, it's so funny, like, there was this person over, she spent the night, and she noticed, you know, when we woke up and I was listening to State of the Culture, Everyday Struggle. She goes, "Is this what you do all the time? You're fucking old." That was pretty funny. A little butthurt, but that's kind of funny. Thanks. You're fucking young. Not that young. Yo, we're not that young. She's legal. Okay, I gotta stop. But that was consensual too, so. Yeah, it's really windy. Let's see what else is there to talk about. I think that's it. I don't wanna bore anyone else. I think like if I keep talking like this, it's gonna be same shit. Yeah, that was the Contingency episode. Thank you. I have a track coming out on my birthday. Very special track to me. I'll tell you why later on as the time gets closer. I'm just thankful. You know, I think like, you know, I want to finish the podcast with this. That a lot of times we get down on ourselves for not having certain people in our life, for not having certain material possessions in our lives, and a certain number in our bank account. And that's fine. We all do it. It's normal. But you know what really offsets that? Being thankful for what you do have. In light of the tragic events that happened this weekend, I'm like, damn, I'm so thankful. Thank you, universe, I'm alive. Thank you, universe, that I have a place to stay. I have a blanket over me. I have a bed. I have a laptop, a microphone, an iPhone, fucking food in my fridge, enough money in my bank account to last me till the next paycheck. Like, yo, that's something that a lot of people don't have, believe it or not, right? We live in a first world country. We're very privileged. So when you think about those things, you know, I'm in good health, able-bodied, that privilege, and it's like, yo, we have to be thankful. More thankful than we usually are. And I think when I think of life like that, hey, I'm blessed. So are you. Count your blessings. Appreciate them. And be thankful for the people you have in your life. You know, friends, or family, both. Yeah. So on that note, I think we're done. Thank you for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too boring.